All right. Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going today? We got another show, another broadcast with Hulk Smash and myself, and we want to talk on the various topics today. We have found out a lot of interesting things about what's going on in our market for Doordash. So, George, go ahead and say hello to our viewers while I'm looking up my notes at this moment.
Hello and good afternoon. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody have a good day, a blessed day, and all that. Um, yeah, what he was talking about, I guess, is like certain things in our market that we saw, about some of the new changes in DoorDash that they're doing on the app. So it's a little bit of different way to navigate on the app to get where you have to go. In my market, I noticed a few changes, but and some of the changes is like how you know the screen is when you actually driving. So the
Right,
map
right,
screen,
right,
you know,
right. Go ahead,
on
brother. Keep
that
talking.
on the map screen. Let me hook up my computer here. I got right here my computer. And let me see. Got the tier system here. I'll go all the way down here. Okay. So I'm gonna show a little thing on the map here, if I can. I'm gonna do this step here. Okay. You see right here, this is the DoorDash map on driving directions. Now I know other markets probably have it, but this came to my market, and
Right.
this screen is totally different than the
Mm-hmm.
screen before. So it's almost like Uber screen, similar in ways. So that's a new feature for DoorDash that came to my market. So maybe other markets have it, but if not, you could look out for this. It's not really that hard to actually get used to. It's just that oh, they have that now on it, and that's just like Uber Eats to me. So so if you have Uber or Uber Eats, it's more of a similarity. If you hit that, I didn't hit it, but if you click that, it'll probably drop down the next turns and stuff, turn by turn and stuff too, just like Uber Eats. But I didn't do that. So that's just something you can look out for, and in my market that here. So they're gonna implement it in other markets as well, and they probably already did. So
Okay, that sounds good.
all
I
right. So
want you to also. We got Dash and John in the house. Glad to
stay
see
on this.
Dash and John. Yeah, we're glad to see Dash and John. We're glad to see Nate. How's everybody doing? Dash and John said, "Hey, I made it. How is everyone doing? We doing great." And my house on the map don't show up. Oh my! Oh, good afternoon. That's Nate. He's also in the house. I want you to be able. Let me get ready and put it back into. Let's see. I'm doing it the wrong way. Hold on. Do it like this. All right, there we go.
All right.
All right, so everybody can see both of us now. Everybody can see both of us now. What I want
So
to do right here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to do this real quick. I'm
When
on
we flip
another
it back around,
device.
when we flip back
No, no,
around, it'll stay like this.
no. Keep it like you got it, brother. You good. I want to do
Okay.
something. I want to give George a recognition. He broke the record on EBT,
Okay.
and I want to be able to,
Okay. This one.
yeah,
You
as
talk
he's
about this
looking,
one.
yeah, as he's looking for it.
I got it
Uh,
right here.
okay, I want to give him a round of applause. Yeah, as he's looking for it. All right, we got that going. So now, I'm gonna put it up on the solo screen so you can see what I'm talking about, what he did on Doordash, and then he's gonna give you a breakdown analysis and what his experience is on how he got that order. So let me go ahead and put him on solo so y'all can see what's going on here. I'm also going to put it on the community post. I said if anybody could break that record, I would put it on the community post. All right, there it is. George got it up. We got it on the solo screen, and he's going to explain to you what you're looking at. The floor is yours, George.
All right. Well, first order of the day was Panera bread. Panera. Um, it was a catering order that came in, and it's on EBT, earned by time. Um, so I went there, accepted the order and stuff. I went there. They had their own bags and everything. So what I did was I had my bags, took the picture because they asked you to take a picture and all that. But they had their own bags, so the only thing I had to do was grab their bags and put them in my car. So I went, put them in my car, drove to the place, drop them off. It also said a setup fee, so we gave you $3 setup fee for that. So I called the customer. They came down with a cart, so we put all the food in the bags on the cart. Everything fit. We rolled to where we had to go. It was a hospital, so it was amazing to get in the hospital. So I went through, and then I put it all, um, set it all up how they wanted it. Took a picture and got a signature. And once I left, I saw that it was $120.21. And I looked at it. It was the tip was $106.87, and the DoorDash pay was $13.34. Uh,
Congratulations.
when I did the setup, obviously I did it through the app, so I don't have a picture of the setup to actually show you the actual
Okay.
setup and stuff because I did it through the app. So the app don't let you save it; it just goes to the app. I would have to have a separate picture, but the reason why I wanted to go quick because most of those people are going for doing medical surgeries and stuff, so they needed to eat and go do their thing. So they couldn't really play around. We had to set up quick. Everybody
Okay.
helped me set up. Basically, they put the food where they wanted it, and then they took a picture and then
All
signed.
right, got a
So
question. That was on EBT, is that correct?
yeah, it says it right. It says it right there. EBT earned by time in the upper right hand corner. You see it? It
Yes,
says
sir.
EBT.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, it was on EBT. So so uh,
Once again, got to congratulate him, ladies and gentlemen, on breaking that record. I think it averaged like, I want to say it was right at like between $62 to $69 for that hour per hour on
right.
EBT. That was one of the highest paying EBT orders that I have seen that I know of. Anybody that have good EBT orders that they make or happen to break this record, We will also put it in our community post. We also want to commemorate August is the National Black Business Month. I got two restaurant owners that I want to do an interview with for the. It's going to be already at the end of this month, but I already got it, you know, signed and lined up with them. Right there we go. So we will be doing that, and we want to just talk about these challenges that's going to be coming up in the up and coming weeks. You know, as you see that the title talk about what you need to know before the DoorDash challenge. We have what you call a pre-show analysis. I'll be changing the name of this where it says the DoorDash pre-show podcast. We will be changing the name. We will be repackaging the title and thumbnails to these videos here. And we want people to understand that we're doing it as an analyst to where we do a breakdown of these challenges. You know, different drivers in the community have done different challenges in the past. We may go over some of those past challenges, you know, to give a breakdown analysis to where people can understand the decisions that drivers make when they are in these markets. And we will start with the DoorDash pregame show, which was the $100 March Madness. I will be repackaging that, and you got the gig war between Red and George. You know, the review on the gig war finale between them, and I'm going to have him talk about this today in this episode, and the shocking truth about DoorDash drivers, and then the DoorDash pre-show analysis. And like I said, I'm going to be repackaging the title and the thumbnails of these videos because we want you to understand, even though it's going to be a DoorDash ultimate pre-show analysis, you know, you're going to see different challenges that us drivers face out here in our local markets. You know, I discovered a lot of things in the last 90 days that I should have discovered 2 to 3 years ago. You know, by being on a different app, I was able to see things from a different perspective, a different overview of how these orders, you can be able to position yourself in the right location to make more money. We also want to be able to do things in the challenge where we interact with the customers, get feedback from what the customers' perspective is on what they consider a great experience with an excellent driver. We will also be doing those challenges as well. So, George, to no further ado, I want you to go ahead and talk about your experience with the last war that challenge that you and Red was in, you know, and give a breakdown on your experience of being able to collaborate with her on that last challenge and what that challenge was about and the importance of the challenge and what you wanted people to understand about what us gig drivers go through from a day-to-day basis when we pick up and drop off deliveries. The floor is yours.
Excuse me. Okay, first thing is like any challenge and stuff, what you do, you want to try to do some kind of safety. You know, safety is like the most important thing. It's the most important thing on anything you do. You get out your house and stuff, you want to do some kind of safety analysis, whatever it's called, and stuff like that. With these challenges and stuff like that, people rumors the same things about, they're not safe, but you can make them safe by talking with the people who are part of the challenge, getting input from them, discussing things, what you're going to be doing, what's the challenge about. Make sure that it's written in the Gig Wars app properly and things like that. So then it's all communication right there. To actually do a safe challenge like we had this last time, it was communications. You have to have communications with everybody who's involved with it, so they can put their input. Because if there's one person saying things and everybody else don't really know what's going on and just going with it, somebody could probably get hurt or not or misunderstand something. So by doing that, everybody can understand and get the input, and then we can all come to a common goal and then have fun doing the challenge. So that's the main thing right there about, you know, these challenges that Red and I did to prove that we could do challenges and make them safe and fun at the same time. Now, after all that's done, now we have fun. Some of the stuff we do in our markets is we came across different obstacles. The app will probably send you somewhere. And one of the challenges, so you had to think quick on your feet. I'm just gonna go to the third day because the third day I think is the most important thing we did. There was a lot of people interacting in the chat and stuff, so we had to learn when to talk to the chat, when not to talk to the chat because of distractions. You know, so I was learning that from Red and stuff. She was more of an expert, so she was teaching me. So me being on a platform with her was giving me guidance and stuff and training to learn when to interact with and when not to interact with the chat. Because sometimes the chat could be saying something that, you know, could throw you off or distract you, or you looking at the chat and not paying attention to the road. That's not good. The third day was important to me the most is because, we could use multiple apps, on our arsenal. Except for a few apps we couldn't use. But other than that, we could use any app we had in our arsenal. Now we both had different markets, but we was both platinum divers. We had the EBT EPO feature on our app. So those things were the same, even though it was in different markets. Now, depends on your market and stuff, depends on what apps you might use. Because this app might send you over there because you did a job and then sends you in BFE, but you might have another app you could work while you're over there instead of doing dead miles coming back. So you have to know where to go. So you have to know your market in a way, and then how these apps are because you doing a challenge, so you're doing speed and everything. So you have to do all this stuff in your head and make a decision quick, not like normal. Like, oh, okay, I'm just over here doing these apps. Okay, I'm tired. I want to do this one. You know, you try to make a common goal to beat your other competitors or opponents that's in the challenge, but also you want to make your right decisions. And sometimes the apps could do something wrong. Depends on the area. You can have bad signal that could mess up your GPS. So you have to look at the map itself to see where things are because there's that live map, and you can blow that up too. Not just look at the GPS. You can look at the map. If you have a secondary map, put that on too. I have a secondary map in my car, so I had that on too as backup. So one thing, one you know, might get a better signal, so and could still. Plus, I could see the roads and stuff on the second app because it's a bigger screen versus my phone. So that's right there. I had a little advantage for it because I had my secondary map online, as a backup. Also, in the challenge, we both faced on the third day. On the second day, we faced that we thought the app would be good, but it didn't peg out. So we decided to do another app. instead of waiting for 5 hours burning up gas because it was hot out and we had to be in our cars. So, and a lot of places there was no shade. So we decided, not to stay with that app because for 1 hour we didn't get no orders. So for the other 4 hours we didn't want to stay because that's unsafe. It's burning up gas. Plus it's unsafe for the simple reason if you have your car off because you try to save gas and stuff, you're gonna get hot. So a safety had to be called there. So we did an app that we knew we would get some activity on. So we had Uber Eats at first. Uber Eats didn't work, so then we went to DoorDash. So we utilize safety in that aspect too, versus sitting around because the heat illnesses could catch us, and you don't want that to happen. So everything goes with safety. On these being on the screen, also we can see each other and look at each other body language and stuff,
Right.
and we also make sure we was okay. We ask questions, hey, you okay? This and that.
Right.
Yeah, we want the other person to try to tap out, we have fun and stuff like that. But, you know, on the serious side of the stuff, we looking to see. You see, the body language will say something else.
Mm-hmm.
D-Web says something about looking at the person's mirror, in that person. So when you're on the screen like we are, we can see. I can see D-Web. He's over there listening, so he's in deep thought. His body language is showing that he's listening. So I'm going around a little nervous, so I'm doing my hands a little bit, and you can see
You're
that in my
doing good.
face.
You're doing
But
good.
by doing these screens, instead of having like non face, you can't tell what's going on with somebody, especially in these challenges and stuff. Any challenge, because you can probably hear them, but seeing them also, not just you, the viewers can see. Doing this challenge, the first day, the reason why I was talking about viewers because the first day it was the challenge was my best app versus her best app. So I picked Uber rideshare. So I know with Uber rideshare, this is a two-party state, South Carolina. So I had to have the other person's permission. Now Uber has on the app the little feature on there that you hit that, it automatically uses your phone as a camera and it records. So they
Okay.
have that feature now to do that. And then it'll automatically say to whoever the passenger is, it'll send to the passenger, this is going to be monitored or whatever type deal. It's going to be
Right.
recorded. So it tells that phone. So then that customer could not do the ride. But I didn't put that feature on. So since I didn't put that feature on and I'm on a live stream, I can't show somebody on a live stream without their permission. You see where my camera is, right? On my phone. That's how it was. So if I'm on a live stream, you see that like that, then you can see the person in the back of me, and I could, it could be a lawsuit because that person didn't want to be on camera without their permission. So we want to respect the customer. So that's also things you got to do to respect your customer. That's where that customer and driver relationship is. So by doing that, I had to go and put my avatar on and then also mute because, I didn't want to record or have voice going over the live stream. By doing that, the viewers could not see Hulk Smash. So they was asking Red, what's going on with Hulk Smash? She had to explain several times why I had the screen and the avatar mode. So, for the viewers, they wanted to interact with Hulk Smash and Red at the same time, but they only saw one. So the viewers didn't felt that they didn't get their, you know, viewership or, the show good because they didn't feel that both of us was on the screen, and also the viewers could not look to see if something goes wrong or something's happening to one of the people or participants. If there's more than two or three or so on the challenge, so when they can't see you, they don't know what's happening to you
Right.
because
Right.
you, and especially if you're on mute. So
Mhm.
when you do these challenges like that, and you gotta mute yourself and put that, and you doing a challenge, you gotta realize what apps to use and what not to use because of viewership too. Because this is, nobody can know what happens to you. You could get in an accident and you don't even know it because you have your mute button on and you have your avatar on, and you are thinking differently when you're on a challenge than you doing your normal work because you're thinking, and it's gonna be in your mind. Yeah, I gotta be on number one. I gotta beat this person. I gotta beat this person.
Uh huh.
I
Uh
want to be
huh.
the winner. I'm gonna be the winner. So that's gonna be a little tunnel vision. So you're gonna have that in the back of your mind all the time. So then you might, you're gonna drive different. It's gonna be, not consciously, unconsciously, whatever. You're gonna be driving differently than you normally
Mhm.
would drive due to the fact that you are doing something, a challenge or so. Even though it's gonna be fun, you're still gonna be like, yeah, I want to win or whatever like that. So when you
Right.
when you're doing challenges like that, also you gotta think about the whole safety. Nothing
Oh.
happened and everything. Once I dropped by, I went back online as much as I can to tell everybody.
Mhm.
I said, or I typed in the chat, when I can. I typed in the chat so tell her I'm okay and stuff like that. So
Right.
then the viewers and stuff would know. But then, I didn't want to do ride share after that because, it was taken away from the show. One person has the avatar on and muted, and you can't even
Mhm.
talk to that person. So, the show would have not been fun for the viewers as well as the participants. So that was a lot of thing. Um, the viewers had some questions about certain things,
Okay.
and they had some safety questions and stuff too. Oh my, there you go. They wanted. I had a vest on. Okay, I had a vest on. You know, I explained why I had that vest on because it was proper PPE for what I'm doing. Um, you could be wide share stuff. I'm not saying you have to have a vest. You can have like bright clothes or something that's brightest thing like that so they could see you. But I had a nice vest on so
Mhm.
people could see me and hopefully they won't hit me. Because
Yeah, so you can be
sometimes
visible.
yeah.
Right.
So when you going out there and you have the customer doing wide share, because I was doing wide share, you don't want to bring the customer to the roadside to so they could go out on the roadside. You want to drop them off on the curbside. So guess what side you're gonna be on? You're gonna be on the roadside. Now a lot of times they just get in and out, but sometimes they might have groceries or this and that. So there goes with your customer and driver relationship. You don't have to help them, but I do. Just out of courtesy and stuff to give them that best customer experience that they have. I help them load the car and I help them unload the car. So guess what side I'm gonna go out on? I'm gonna go out on to the roadside. That means I'm gonna be going out in traffic. So I have to
Mhm.
watch how I get out in traffic and everything like that. And then that's why I had the vest on. Now
Okay.
for delivering food and goods and stuff like that, the vest is good too. You go to Walmart, okay? Everybody went to a Walmart, some shape or form. What those people have on when they're going out there getting those carts? They have some kind of vest on, right?
Right.
Correct. The same way, you see, you are doing a job. You're not a regular person just going in and getting your groceries. You're doing a job. So you can use the vest for that too, going in and out of the parking lot, stuff like that. You know. Also, I was explaining to them, since you're doing this as a job, say something happens, you get hit. You don't have to die, you just get hit. Because the vest is not gonna prevent the car from hitting you. It's gonna hopefully the person see you and try to avoid from hitting you. That's what the vest is for. So just like a W-2 job, you don't have proper PPE on and you get hurt on the job, they're gonna do an investigation. So when you do an investigation, guess what? You didn't have that vest on, right? In Amazon, I was working in Amazon. There's something called the pit area. That's where all the forklifts doing all the stuff and moving stuff there and there, things like that. When you go in that area, you gotta have a vest on. So say you get hit by a forklift, you didn't have the vest on. They're gonna say, well, you didn't have a proper PPE on. So workman's comp is out the window. You gotta do all that yourself. Okay, so now you're an independent contractor. That's what they say we are. Yeah, we don't have the W-2 to do that, but say you want to go after the person who hit you. They might have a guy, lawyer, whatever, see footage or whatever. Say you was in Walmart, got hit. There's cameras in Walmart, right? So you're in the parking lot, you got hit by a car. There's cameras there. They get the footage from the cameras. They find out you didn't have a vest on. They can say that, hey, and you over there delivering food. You had your phone in your hand, walking and stuff. They can find out you was delivering food or going to pick up food. Walmart spot. They find out you're doing work. They can also find out that they don't have to pay you because you didn't have the proper PPE. That's one thing. That's the bad thing. I mean, that's the good thing. You just don't get service. The bad thing is you get hurt or die. That's the worst thing. But if you're just not gonna get nothing from the person who hit you, okay,
Right.
you're still alive. Okay, so that's the main thing. But this is reality I'm talking about. And there are people who are out there that find any loophole they can find to not pay you anything. And then even your own insurance company might not help you out with anything, especially if you don't have the right insurance for what you're doing in your car. You get in an accident. So that's why when I'm doing Amazon Flex, I get multiple miscellaneous packages. Some are heavy, some are light. I have on protective boots, steel toe or composite toe. I have both sets. I have a set of steel toe and I have a set of composite toe. The steel toes are heavier, so I usually use the composite toe, but I have both.
Right. Right.
Because you could drop something by accident on your foot, at
Mm-hmm.
least you have that little bit of protection there that you won't hurt yourself. What I'm trying to say is when you're doing these jobs, try to find out what kind of protective equipment you would use
Right.
to do that. And that's what the whole challenge was about because people are speculating these challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Are they safe or not? Are we
Mm-hmm.
using them safe?
Mm-hmm.
Are we hydrating? You know, are we taking breaks? We showed all that, both of us. She hydrated, took breaks. I hydrated, took breaks because you have to take a break. You can't go on just because it says from this time to this time. You got to take a break. That's not
Right.
tapping out. That's just taking a break for safety.
Right.
So that's some challenges right there all the time. And the big main challenges is how people are looking at certain things and trying to scrutinize it and try to say we're not doing something safely or whatever they might think. So we put that hopefully, cleared up a lot of questions about the apps. Now, but Red and I, we had a little thing saying about, we had a war, the first war. I won, might not but I won. So then we decided to do another war. She challenged me the first time, then she wanted a rematch for the second time. She beat me on the second time. So we had to do it 2 out of 3.
Right.
So
Right.
that's so each war we did, we was trying to compete with ourselves on a better war for the next one, for us and for the viewers, to get involved with it too. This
Right.
third war, I think was the best war out of all the wars we had because a lot of views was involved. They was asking questions to both of us. We was answering them. They was basically interacting a lot, and I think that's what we both liked about the war the most is because we had a lot of interaction from the audience. So I don't know if I answered all your questions, but that's what I got out of it. You know, out of the thing, and I was happy to collaborate with her. I learned a lot of stuff from her. You know, because I'm thinking about being a content creator. D-Web is helping me out as well. Um, but I want to do it right. You know, I want to do it right. I don't want to just jump out there and not know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to learn from different content creators who've been out here for a while doing this in this field. So by doing this, you know, OJT, and then doing training lectures and stuff like book knowledge and learning stuff on assignments that he's been giving me to do, then I can understand how things work more. So that's what I got out of the war for me and Red and stuff. I don't know if I answered all the questions like that, but that's what I got out of the war and everything. So I'm gonna leave it like that.
Okay, I want to elaborate on a few things. Thank you so much for being able to be the guy in our community. I call you the ambassador because you can
Okay.
just about go on anybody's channel and you bring peace there. You don't bring turmoil and stuff like that. But you did pretty much answer the questions that I was asking. You know,
Okay. I didn't read them, but I see them now.
yeah, yeah. I was going to ask those after you got finished, and then we was going to elaborate on it. You answered the first one, which was what is your experience in this 3 day challenge? You did answer that, and I asked you how important is decision making in this business, and you talked about making the decisions when you interact with your customers, your PPE equipment, safety, and how you conduct yourself and read on the show. You was able to
Hmm.
have a safe show. It was a live stream ride along because there's been people in the past talking about that these live stream ride alongs are not safe. You know, so
Hmm.
you answered a whole lot of questions, you and her, because I asked questions, you know, during that first day, you know, and everybody else was interacting. It was a good collaboration, good camaraderie. You know, that's what live streams ride along should be. Now the breakdown analysis, which is this where our show come in at the DoorDash challenge,
Oh, okay. Now you want to talk.
ultimate
Okay.
pre-show analysis. You see, so what both analysts do, we be able to bring out the information that viewers do not normally see in your regular ride alongs. It's not knocking nobody on their ride alongs. It's just giving a little bit more detailed information that is relatable, especially to new drivers in their market. You know, a content creator could be from a market that a new driver just got on the scene. And that information can be powerful information as a resource to help them make the right decision in this business. And question two is how important to you is decision making in this business?
Okay. I'll answer that. It's very important to me is because when I make good decisions, it helps me take less time to go to certain spots. You know, I could be in a certain area and I could just get orders around there, and it won't, you know, gas money. I ain't gonna lie. You know, everybody's got to do gas. You know, unless you're doing those electric cars or electric scooters or so. So it saves time to get orders where to go because you know the area. You also know that there's less distractions in those areas, like road construction. You know, now school's back in science, so I got a college. My area is a college town. I got universities and colleges all over. I got HBCUs and everything. So it's going to be a lot of traffic, a lot of students going on there. So if you go like downtown Columbia, um, and you do the lunch rush, they got tons of constructions. First of all, because they're building up the road, putting in piping and stuff like that, making the road longer or wider. I mean, and everything else. On top of that, you got all these students crossing the light when it's red on their end and it's green on your end. So I want to recommend you going downtown, doing lunch rush in Columbus, South Carolina, unless you have a smaller vehicle that you could try, hopefully stay around there. You know, Now there is an app that it can keep you around that area, and you can do that. So you have to know what app to do. If you want to stay in that area and just do, there is an app that usually keeps you in that area, Columbia, downtown Columbia, and you can just go through, maneuver through there, and you'll be all right. But Doordash is not the app that'll do that. You can get something there, and then you go over here, and then it might send you back over there, and then you go and stay in there, and then it pops you over there. So you gotta know what's at.
How
So
how important is business districts for you in making your decision on maximizing your income return?
um, business decision maximize. Basically, for me, it's like I was saying. I know to know your area and also know what apps could do what at what time. Um, when you like downtown, I'm gonna do downtown again. When you downtown Columbia, you will get catering orders from multiple apps because it's a business area right there, and also you also um, will have little um, like sororities and stuff. So they have their little things as well. So not just the businesses, since I have those universities and colleges and stuff, they have their thing and they do like catering. They also have games, you know, sporting events, different events that come along and things like that. If I'm not mistaken, Who Did the Blowfish or something's coming down there tomorrow at the Colonial Life Arena.
Okay.
Who Did the Blowfish? That's an event, live event.
Right.
In October, if I'm not mistaken, in October, WWE is supposed to be at the Colonial Life event arena,
Okay.
and everybody knows football season starts.
Right.
So we have a big college, university, basically USC, University of South Carolina. The Gamecocks is the
Mhm.
Columbia Big
Right.
football for college. College is a college town. College is the main thing they do, a lot of events. So you have tailgate and stuff. So when you do the business stuff on the business, you have to know what apps to use and what is going on. So then you can use those apps to your business events to maximize your earnings. So when you're doing like events, like live events, you gotta know when to use the Uber app
Mhm.
and when not. Because you see, they control traffic. The police will put barricades out and control the traffic so you be flow one way.
Right.
And you have to do that flow. You can't go the other way because they control the traffic.
Mhm.
In Columbia, South Carolina, on Saturdays, they have a market on Main Street every morning, as long as it's not raining and stuff. Depends on how bad it rains, they might have it then.
Right.
So when you're down there if you're downtown, you'll get stuck under that thing because they block the roads off to do that marking. They block several streets and stuff too. So you had to go all the way wrap around. So what's that? If you do DoorDash, which part are you gonna do? We have EBT and EPO. So which one would you do if you're gonna do downtown for that stuff? Would you do EPO or EBT? You know, EPO only is a straight whatever the DoorDash says. You know, say if you get a $6.50 for that order, you know, you might get a tip or whatever. But you know you get $6.50, but it takes you an hour to do it because you gotta go all the way, find a place to go, park like 3 blocks away, then walk back to go to the restaurant, get the food. Before you get the food, you waiting there for and then you come back, walk away 3 or 4 blocks, three blocks, like I said earlier, 3 blocks, go to your car, then you drive, but you still stuck downtown because all the roads are blocked, so you have to do all these detours to get out there, and you still stuck downtown because where the drop-off is still downtown.
Right.
And it's in the area, actually it's in the area that's blocked off, but it's further down the road. Are you going to use EPO? Or are you going to use EBT? I would use EBT. The simple reason because once you pick that order up, you get paid for once you pick the order up till you complete the order.
Right.
So if it takes you an hour to do that and it's $14.25 on the EBT for Columbia, South Carolina, on downtown and northeast side, don't worry about what they are. It's just unless you live here, you know. Downtown northeast side, that's $14.25. I got two areas. Lexington,
Right.
Irmo, Chapin is $15.25.
Right.
So that's a business decision you would have to make to maximize the earnings. If you're down there at that time when you know that's coming on. And then here's another thing. That's coming on, that's down there doing that. And then you got an early game. That's still going on, and the early game for the Gamecocks is going on at the same time. Would you still use EPO? Or would you use EBT? That's up to you. If you think you could do better EPO, zip, more power to you. But I recommend you do EBT because you're gonna be waiting to get somewhere. So that's a business decision you gotta do to maximize your earnings. You gotta know which app to use and what's going on at your time when you use these apps. So that's hopefully will answer that question because that is a business decision you're gonna make. Because if you make an EPO decision, you're losing money doing that scenario of this game versus EBT. Because you're waiting long hours, you gotta do this, you gotta park, and then on top of that, you don't if you ain't handicapped, I got a handicap placard, not there, but I also got the license plate with the handicap little logo on there. So with me, I could park downtown in Columbia, South Carolina, and all South Carolina, basically, I could park at a meter and not pay anything. You can't, D-Web, unless you have a handicap placard and you have a thing. If you don't have
That's
a handicap, say you do that, you risk your car getting towed, and then guess what? You said, well, I'm gonna go park there, and you like 4 blocks away, and then you had to walk back. By the time you probably get back, you got a ticket on your car because they got those guys out there doing the tickets. They very thorough. They're very thorough when they do the ticket, especially on events. They out there. They out there on events, so you have to know when those events, the police are out there policing, and you also got people doing tickets because that's how they get their money. So if you come to South Carolina and do Columbia, listen to this video because don't do it at certain times unless you want to, because then that's going to be a bad decision. Not only are you going to lose time for a $6.50 order, you got to pay a ticket. And you don't even live in this state. Say you don't live in this state, you visit it. So you're going to pay that ticket, you're going to dispute it. You don't want to drive back Columbia, South Carolina to go to traffic court, which is downtown, go pay a ticket. You're going to pay it online. So you out that money. So was that a good decision? Business decision? No. So I hope that answered your question.
It did. Reason why
I asked
that question, I know people wondering why did he ask that question. What I'm getting ready to say now, I'm going to make it more relevant to where you can understand why I asked that question.
Okay.
Now, DoorDash had an article and they put out in April of this year talking about the top 6 cities in America of the best place to DoorDash in: Chicago, LA, New York City, Houston, Las Vegas, and Atlanta. And I'm going to go over briefly some of this information. I'm going to share it with you today. I'm quite sure I will be doing a long form video on it, on how imperative it is in our decision making. Is you making the right decision to maximize your earnings, or you're not making the right decision? And sometimes we get misleading information on social media, especially in our niche, that drivers paint a picture that they make the best decision all the time. That's not true. We human. We don't always make the right decision. You know, business districts is one of the most important information I'm finna put on this show today, especially for new and beginning drivers, intermediate drivers, as well as advanced drivers and OG drivers. They said, man, I've been doing it 10 years. You can't tell me anything, but there's something new you can learn every day. And we want to talk about the windy city, Chicago, where PJ the Hustler is. The windy city is one of the third biggest cities in America and is a food fanatical metropolis. It's no surprise that delivery driver jobs in Chicago are highly sought after. According to a Chicago Dasher, when looking for the most profitable areas, West Loop District, the River North District, the South Loop District, the Lincoln Park stands out, as does Wicker Park. Not only do these areas boast higher order volumes, but dashers also enjoy how friendly these neighborhoods can be. They had a little interview with Dash and Natasha in, and she explains that North River is her best pick out of those districts. Has more orders and customers tip well. The area also has newer restaurants and great people. These are some of the things when you own these different apps. How can you maximize your earnings the most off of what apps that you are using in the course of your day or shift when you're out here doing deliveries? That's the reason why I asked that business districts are very imperative. You know, knowing where those best areas are. Your DoorDash zones, your Grubhub zones, your Uber Eats zones, your Walmart Sparks zones. Where George is, he's got a unique market. Okay, and he talked about it in that live stream on the first day. I asked a question. During that time of that live stream that they were doing, Walmart Spark were glitch deactivating drivers. Okay, sending them emails, letting them know that they deactivated, and you like, how? Why? It happened here in Memphis from March until now. Walmart Spark drivers were getting deactivated, and they was being known. They was being let known that it was a glitch. We talked about glitch deactivation on DoorDash. At the time I was talking about that, this was also going on with Walmart Spark. So now it's out there. Everybody know the news that glitch deactivation was a fantasy dream that I made up off of Alice in Wonderland. Is out here and it's real, because what Huck is experiencing in his market and you're not experiencing what he's experiencing, don't mean that experience he's having is false or not true. It just haven't came in your market yet. Then you got to look at different markets to where they cracking down on the activity of fraudulent activities in certain markets. Some markets worse than others. So they may not see those updates that is targeted for certain markets so they can try to reduce fraudulent activity from the customers, merchants, and drivers. We all play a part in this here, not just drivers only, not just customers only. The new update that DoorDash just did with deactivation, so drivers can send their appeal and they can have a faster response. Hopefully, they can be reactivated once the drivers show proof that they've been wrongly deactivated. That's a good thing with the PIN code that George and I talked about 3 months ago. We talked about it on this show here, and George. As a matter of fact, at the time, I was showing the pictures. The pictures. You see what I'm saying? And it was a tip that was taped on the door. George, you remember that? I know you remember it because you said, "Look, now that was a bad indication that DoorDash put that in the app about a picture of a tip being put on the door, so the next driver gonna think this customer tips like this all the time." That is not always true. They tips vary. A driver, the one day you may go over there, that customer may tip $5. Next time you drop off an order, that customer may tip $50 due to the experience that the customer have, which is going to be the next question I'm getting ready to ask them. Due to what the customer have determines if they're going to tip the next driver or not due to that bad experience and the platforms that they on. They may have a little bit more money to splurge. They feel pretty good. They didn't mind tipping the driver more. Or are you a repeated driver that picks up their order and they recognize who you are? So that's why it's very imperative. I think it was question number 4. Look down. I asked about business etiquette and customer experience.
Yeah, as you said, how important is business etiquette and great customer experience? That's question number 4.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay. Business etiquette is basically what he's saying is how you conduct yourself, as your business. This is your business. Whatever platform you're on, that is your business at the time. So, believe it or not, it does look when they see you come out your car and you look like a ragamuffin, holes in your jeans and stuff like that. It's a bad impression, you know. Even your car, they see you come up in your car. A lot of times, these customers, they say leave that door, but they come out. They also want to see what they're coming out to. Who's delivering my food? I noticed that because a customer said that to me. That's why I'm saying that, and I'm glad he asked that question. A customer came out because this customer found out they had like dog hair in their food. Okay, and it was a repeated thing. Some people have trash or whatever, something in the car or whatever that got in their food. So this particular customer, I was carrying that food, and I had it in the bag. As you can see, I look pretty decent. You don't have to you dress how you feel. I can't tell you how to dress. You dress how you feel that you are representing your business because this represents you. So when I got there and stuff, the person was already outside on the porch. It said leave that door, but the person was out there. So I did my little thing, introduced myself and all that stuff and everything. And then I explained, since it said leave that door, I had to take a picture and everything like that. So the person was okay and everything. So what they were seeing is how you approach the person, how you are talking to the person. Are you giving them respect? How do you smile? Smiling and stuff does help. You know, Little things you don't think of. Though they saw my car and they said, "Nice car." I said, "Thank you, sir." And I said, I see that you keep your car clean and stuff, so I appreciate that. Why did that person say that? I see you keep your car clean, sir. I appreciate that. For the story I just said, people that they had a 30 car or whatever inside, even though the outside was clean, he just since you saw the outside of my car nice and clean, he figuring that and how I was dressing clean, I didn't smell and everything like that. I didn't look like I just had my clothes. I wore my clothes to bed and just woke up and with my clothes on from bed or whatever. Since he saw my car was nice and clean, he assumed that I keep the inside clean. And then what he did after he took the picture, he opened the bag. It was Chinese food. He opened the bag right in front of me and started digging in the food. Then he explained why he did that. You see, little things, when you come to a customer's house, it's not always the negative thing that they just coming out because they don't want to do this or that, or it's because something happened in the past, or they know people
Right.
that things happen,
Right.
or they got the food treated wrong, or whatever. So they judge you, just like a ride share. See, in Columbia, South Carolina, we don't have to have our cars inspected to make sure they're safe on the road. Now, Uber and Lyft, you gotta have that little inspection sheet each year. You gotta have them check, or whatever.
Right.
But if you're doing Uber Eats or anything else, you don't have to have your car inspected. You don't have to have your car inspected for no platform. You don't have to have your car inspected for the state of South Carolina. See, that's the thing about your state. Your state does certain laws, so that's the difference. My state don't. So since my state don't do that, people might know people to check, and then send it to Uber or Lyft. Now I saw a car that had the whole front end basically tore up, and it had the Uber sticker and everything on the car. Now, if Uber actually saw that, would they allow that car to be represent Uber? No. Some of these people, the customers that see that car, they be like, should I go in that car? That car has no front end, no bumper. Why would I? Nah, man, I'm canceling that ride. I'll pay the cancellation fee, but I'm not going in that car. That car don't look safe.
And they will report you. They will
And
report you.
there you go. They will report. But the thing is your business efficacy starts with first impressions. People say looks ain't everything. Yes, looks is a lie. They don't know you. Some of them get to know you when you have repeat customers and stuff. And you talking to them. I have so many repeat customers. They know me and stuff. But I get new people. They don't know me. So the best thing to do is treat that customer how you want to be treated. Now, if you want to be treated nice, then treat the customer nice. There you go. That's the best way to. That's the best way to do it. It's
Right.
simple. Keep it simple, stupid. I don't even do all the big words. If you like to be treated with respect, treat the customer with respect. Point blank. I can't say no simpler than that. If you don't like to be respected, then you're not going to treat the customer with respect. Now, I never heard nobody didn't want to have respect, but I'm not going to say people don't. I'm just saying I like to have respect. I like people to respect me, so I'm going to respect you because I want to have somebody that respect me. That's just me.
It makes a
So
difference. Yes,
it
it
does
makes a
make a
difference.
difference. And then people talk about you too. And then now since they have the app that you can put it on the back end as well, they get that tip because some people do the tip thing because they use the service. But people they know they have the apps that you can do the tip on the back end. So they don't do the tip on the front end. So then they find out whoever comes, yours truly. Yeah, I take no tip orders, I ain't gonna lie. But I do get tips on the front back end. I don't take all no tip orders, but I take most of them. I don't work a lot on these apps, but when I do it the best of my ability, and I show every customer the best experience they ever have. So then they can say, "Wow, that person with Doordash, man, I want him 5 stars. I hope I can get him." Some of them even ask me, "Hey, is there a way to get you to deliver my food?" That's when you can talk and do your own business thing. Make sure you have everything in the row when you do that. Get your own private clients. That's what I'm getting
Right,
at.
right. And
But
that's because you operate the business,
right,
okay? And you want repeated clientele. That's the next
right,
question I'm getting ready to ask.
right.
How important it is to have repeated clientele. That's number five. Number six, do you have
Okay,
repeated clientele? No, they're not in the live chat. I'm
okay,
just asking them right now. Hmm.
okay, okay. Um, yes, I do have repeated clientele, and I do have my own business that I do for a lot of clients. Okay, that's why I don't really use these apps too, but I don't do a lot of the other stuff. But that's me. I have the proper paperwork that I could do my business and stuff. Um, for rideshare on the private side versus using Uber or Lyft. I feel more safer when I have my own private clients for rideshare because of an incident that happened. I'm not gonna get into that, but I know these people, and then when they tell me people they know them and I trust them, so then I get more clientele. And having repeated clientele keeps your business going. And a lot of people, word of mouth is the best way to go. And by the time you get out the car or by the time you leave, you already been talked about. So they'll say, man, that driver right there, man, you want him because he's gonna have he does safety in the vehicle. He don't be speeding and stuff. He takes his time. He has good conversation. He respects you if you don't want to talk. He respects your wishes. You know. Now it depends on how you run your business. I run my business. I have like little knickknack snacks that I buy. From the store and stuff and water.
Right, right.
So then little condiments that they can have and things like that. Not condiments, but what's the word? Shoot, help me out. Not condiments.
I know
Refreshments
what
or
you're
whatever.
saying. I know what you're
Refreshments or
saying.
something. But anyway, everybody hopefully know what I'm
Amenities,
saying.
amenities.
Yeah, amenities. Yeah. So on my amenities, I have little treats and stuff that people can have. I even had treats for dogs because I love dogs, and I had treats for cats because I got clientele now with dogs and cats, so
That's
I
a
get
game
more money.
changer. That's a game
So
changer right there.
and also I got clientele with people who need those dogs and cats, to help the animals to help them, you know. So for the disability, so I got a few of those, and then most of my clients are mostly military. I do others, but most of my clients are military because to and from the VA and things like that is really hard, you know, because the VA when you're there, you hurry up and wait basically. Your appointment's at 9, but you probably don't see the 10. And then the bus sometimes, uh, they they come sometimes and stuff, and then they'll try to say, okay, hopefully we can wait and stuff. But then sometimes you might have to call, get another ride and stuff. So some of them they find out because some of them, the VA also uses rideshare, and that's how I got a lot of them. And then I also talk with people at the VA hospital as well because I'm a vet, and I talk to people, and I heard that story. So that's what I do. I enjoy doing that. But
Right.
so I think I answered both of your questions, or did I die?
Yeah, you answer both of them.
Okay.
Also with rideshare, I did something as well. I would go to the visitor center
Mhm.
and I would get information of the city,
Mhm.
uh, restaurants they recommended for visitors to come to go to
Mhm.
and spend
Mhm.
spend money at those businesses. Also would get the coupons
Mhm.
that they would have available, and I'll put it in a welcome pack kit. And when I used to be at the airport picking up, business clients and everything that comes to business conferences, which they have real heavily during the summertime, I
Mhm.
would hand them that packet and everything. And I would get tips like that. It was a courtesy, welcome them to the city. And then a
Mhm.
lot of times they would come to you and say, look, now would you be my driver for the day or for the week? I want you to be my driver. And
Mhm.
that's how I used to build, my private clients. I used to have a Google Voice phone number. I still got a Google Voice phone number. And I would give a card to those clients. And
Mhm.
I had several of those clients, and they appreciate that service. You know, how well the car smell. You don't want to overpower them with the smell of your best fragrance. You want to keep it kind of neutral flavor, the where females and males they like it. I will play
Also,
jazz. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I just want to repeat on that on the perfume and stuff or the flavor.
Yes, sir.
You got to understand. Sometimes people are allergic.
Right.
I was informed that it's better not to really have those fragrance and stuff around, like the Febreze and the stuff that you hang on your
No,
rearview
I don't
mirror and
use
things
that.
like that. No,
Uh-uh.
I'm just saying, because some people might be allergic. I learned one time before. This is when I was a new driver and stuff. I thought the Febreze was good and all that. People would say the car smelled good and all that stuff too and stuff like that. Because I had it you know, in the register, air register, so it was blowing right there. One person
Well,
came in and stuff. That person seemed fine when they first came in, but then all of a
right.
sudden that person started coughing.
That's
So I
that's
was
that's
asking the person, I was
right.
asking that person, "Are you okay?" And I had water, and they would drink water, but they kept coughing, coughing. And then the thing
Allergic
that was
reaction.
the thing that was different to that person was the fragrance than the car. Could have been the fragrance, but so what I did was I took it off and put it in my center console. Once roll the windows down, blow all the stuff out. Once that came out, person stopped coughing. So then the
That
person wasn't upset with me that happened, but then that person gave me advice that sometimes, yeah, it smells pretty, but do those fragrance spells that could take the scent out of your rugs and stuff and your seats. Because I had cloth seats in my other car before this one. But you can use a Febreze to take out the odor and stuff, and then spray your lights off with disinfectant and do that here and there. Um, because when you have different people, different smells, not really use those because of that might happen, and somebody can have a major reaction like that person did. So that's why I don't really put fragrance in my car no more for that simple reason because that person had an allergic reaction to it. Go ahead, brother.
yeah, yeah. That's the reason why I go to Cougar Chemicals. They have specialists
Mm-hmm.
there, experts there. You can talk to
Mm-hmm.
them about. That's why I said neutral
Mm-hmm.
flavors that don't cause that type of reaction. You don't
Right.
overpower them by
Mm-hmm.
mixing too strong of a mixture due
Right.
to allergy reactions, you know, to the respiratory system of some people. So I go to Cougar's Chemicals and I use a neutral flavor to where I never did have that experience, but you do have to keep that in mind. The type of chemicals that you use when you're cleaning your vehicles. I go
Mm-hmm.
to a place like that that use professional detail your
Hmm.
car and everything.
That's what I
Never
do
had.
too.
Yeah, I never had that problem. And you can look them up, Google them up. You'll see Cougar Chemical is world renowned.
Hmm.
And we have one here in Memphis, and I think the other one is in Nashville or Chattanooga, somewhere there.
Hmm.
When they see a clean vehicle,
Hmm.
they look at that as your expression, first impression on the person. That's what I'm trying to get. You want to give
Hmm.
that best first impression.
Hmm.
Even when you're delivering food, well, I don't have to go to the extent to do what they do in rideshare, but I guarantee you, the cleaner your vehicle is,
Hmm.
the more you're going to have repeated clients. You see, they will walk to the vehicle to see what condition the vehicle in. Do I smell cigarette smoke? Do I smell dope? Do I smell that weed scent? What type of scent that I'm going to smell, and is that person carrying my package
Hmm.
in this type of environment? I don't want that driver anymore. These are very important things that we have to look at. In these DoorDash challenges, we're going to bring them things out in an analysis of when you're doing a ride along, when you're doing challenge with another driver in another city. I do challenges all the time behind the scene. George and I will be doing challenges in the up and coming future. Hopefully, I'll be over there with Gig Wars also doing some of their challenges as well. We've been talking about it, back and forth about it, talking about, when that's going to take place. It's going to take place, so that's what we want to do. We want to bring something to the table to where, okay, we got newer drivers out here. You don't have to have the company uniform on, but have some type of casual attire that fits this business that you're doing. You can be going to the hospital, dropping off orders. You could be going to business conferences and stuff, and you want to kind of dress appropriate for those different type of events he was talking about earlier. How many of you look at your local newspaper, your local articles? We have a Memphis article that we use. I can't call the name of it now, and we look and we see all the events and everything that goes on. He mentioned football season, so people should start back making money when it was slower during the summer school back. You got football season. A lot of drivers like to go to Oxford down there during this time of the year on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? To maximize their earning on certain apps. You got to know these apps individually, the characteristics of the demographics in your city, where you can maximize the most off this platform, where it may take you all day on another one. That's the reason why we asked about business decisions making and knowledge of your business districts. You see, I just used Chicago for the example, but I will be talking about them top six cities: Chicago, Los Angeles, New York City, Houston, Las Vegas, Atlanta. And they talk about it in their DoorDash article about those business districts. I talk about it in doing Grubhub about them business districts. Did the same thing on DoorDash about them business districts. Do you know the boundary of getting your orders in these districts? You see, that's on a more advanced level of doing these gig apps, or when you multi-app. Multi-apping just don't mean you got just turn all your apps on all at the same time. You may have three apps you use throughout the course of the day. I use Uber Eats during the breakfast rush. I may use DoorDash during the lunch rush. I may use Grubhub during the dinner rush. putting yourself, positioning yourself in the right location, not at the right location. There's a difference between in and at. You want to be in the right location on one app, and another app, you might want to be there. Okay, I can sit here. Another app, you may have to have the right distance to get that order, and the driver can be sitting right there at the front door, and they looking at you coming in getting the order. You have to know the ins and outs of your business. That's why you have to do historical data. That's why you have to analyze, and we talked about that many a times. In our videos. I thank Hulk Smash so much. He want to right now. He wants to address the comment section right now. I normally be posting them up there, but I'm gonna let him go ahead and address the comment section out loud. Mr. G was talking about Chicago was popping when I lived there, and he said that it slowed down. No slowdown on any apps. No slowdown on any apps. So I'm gonna let George go ahead and interact right there with him about that Chicago downtown. That's where PJ makes his most money at. The hustler on them catering jobs that he do is on downtown Chicago. He shows it in his live stream ride-alongs. He gives a tour on present his package when he do his content, and he shows a tour of his city, which I think is a beautiful thing that content creators needs to do when they do, ride-alongs or live stream ride-alongs. Oh, go ahead, George.
I answered him. I was like, he said, Mr. G, in fact, I plan on moving back. I said, that's what's up at Mr. G. Because after that's what he said about those sold out there. I say, I'm going good, Hulk. And I said, oh, are you ready for the cold, Mr. G? Because Chicago's cold. So
Yes,
I was asking him if he's ready for the cold, because not far from Chicago, you got great mistakes. I mean, great lakes.
Great mistakes. I
Yeah.
went there.
I went there too for my basic training too.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's why
Yes,
I
sir.
said that.
Yes, sir.
That's why I said that. Cold is not that bad, although not sure when you did boot camp, does it get cold for you? Uh, yeah, it was cold.
When I went there in August, I think. The last week in September, it was snow. It was snow, and we had to
Yeah,
shovel that snow. So
yeah, I
yeah,
was in January.
you was in it knee deep.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
was
and
in.
I happen to volunteer. They say, anybody want to do snow watch? So yeah, I'll do it. I make my hair and all that stuff. Never again volunteer yourself. That's what Navy stands for.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Snow
sir.
watch.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
get up right about 200 in the morning. Go shovel that snow.
Yes,
So we
sir.
had to get up we had to get up a little bit early, later on.
Yes.
Not too far after that, we want the snow cleared before, all the recruits had to go stuff. Man, I
Right.
never again volunteered myself, but I did. But it was fun.
I understand. You remember Big Chicken, Little Chicken, don't
Yeah, big chick
you?
move. Yep. Great mistakes for you and the ref. I forgot. Yep.
Yes,
I
sir.
worked
Yes,
at
sir.
MWR. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my brother. Yeah.
Yes,
He
sir.
said
Yes.
great mistakes. He knows about it. Oh yeah, Mr. G.
You
Yeah.
know
So
about it. They had greasy
yeah.
spoons. They had greasy spoon, a spot called Greasy Spoon. At the time when I was in boot camp, the food was delicious, but the place was called Greasy Spoon. You know, I don't know. Did
Man,
you get a chance to get that experience or not?
no, no, I didn't do the grease. No, I didn't get a chance for the greasy spoons.
Yep,
So
yep.
I don't know if it was there or not. No, I don't think it was there. I didn't get a chance to do that.
hmm Yeah, I enjoyed this live
Yeah.
stream and everything. Go ahead, Huck, and look through all the live streams. And like I said, we back on the scene. Gonna be doing more videos. We gonna be doing Doordash challenge, the ultimate
Okay.
pre-show analysis of different gig drivers doing challenges. You
Okay,
know,
I'm gonna acknowledge them. Tell them all thanks for showing up to the show today. Dancing with John, thank you for showing up. Nate Dog, MSU 1980, thanks for showing up. Um, Catherine Jones, thanks for showing up. Tasha Vet, thank you for showing up. Let's see who else is in the house here. Mr. G, thank you for showing up, participating. All you guys, thank you guys for all showing up to the show, and hopefully y'all learned something and enjoyed the show. If y'all have any questions, y'all can put it in there too. Y'all can put it in the chat if y'all have any questions on anything we talked about, or this one of this chat. Like Mr. G's doing some stuff. He's chatting about stuff now. You can do that too. California is way too hot for me. Yeah. My first trip was in San Diego, California. Yeah. I have an aunt who lived there in California, so I was hanging with her. But it is hot, Mr. G. I can't stand the heat. I was used to. Well, I can't say I was used to the heat, but I guess the cold bothers me more. I think I get acclimated more to the heat than the cold. Because I'm putting on a lot of stuff, so it's kind of like restricts my movement when I have more stuff on than when I don't have a lot of stuff on. That's probably why I like the heat more. And I don't have to have a lot of stuff to be more loose.
well, both
Um,
both both climates affect me.
right.
Ever since I had that heat stroke years ago in an attic doing air conditioning work,
Hmm.
it's just as bad as me as it is extreme cold.
Right.
But I want to go ahead and give the viewers a round of applause for coming to the show today, and they kept it cordial. They followed the three-step rules that we had for this channel. I want to give them a round of applause right quick. I want to
Excuse
say thank you, and thank you, and hope you can continue on addressing the chat and everything. That's what we're going to be providing with our show here. Hokey did a marvelous job um, doing his content creator thing, and I want to
me.
mention something about that. You know, everybody that you come in contact with, and I used to train martial art and train different people and everything. You don't train two people the same. Fitness coaches, they would tell you the same thing when you're dealing with fitness, body type, you know, uh, meal nutrition plan and all of that. You don't train two people the same. This person diet may be different for their body than this person diet, and the type of workouts that's gonna fit their physique, their body type, and how their body aligns up with these different movements and stuff. I can say that as far as martial art. One fight I make train him in Patiki, Tersa Kali. The other one I might have them do 52 blocks. Another one I might have them do Carl McGraw. Another student I might have all three of that wrapped in there with some kickboxing. But you have to know that individual. When you have a contract, you sign in a contract or a waiver with them, you need to also know their health conditions as well when you training people. Why are you using sport fitness and martial art fitness with content creating, and when you deal with gig drivers, when they come to you and say, man, I want some of this information that you putting out there. you know I don't show two drivers the same thing, or teach them the same way. I got to find out what their decision making is, and what fits their decision making when making decisions on what they want, how much money, what are your goals. Is going to be probably one of the number one things I asked them. What are your goals what is the reason you became a delivery driver? Do you want to do this thing as a side hustle, part time money? You already got a job or whatever, or you trying to pay your bills or whatever? We try to meet those needs. And then I also do challenges, with drivers, behind the scene, in their market, to where, I can tell them, business districts. All right, once I know your business districts, and I might mention certain restaurants in that area, you happen to go there and you discover another restaurant, or you get a hit at the one I mentioned in that business district. That is on a most advanced level. Sometimes when we multi app, we also multitask. We multitask even off of a simple or single app. So the more apps you got, the more multitasking you have to do. That's the reason why I said people don't make all the right decisions all the time. You get overwhelmed, you're going to make some bad decisions. You learn from them bad decisions, hopefully not to make them mistakes again. All of us do it. Those that multi-app understand where I'm coming from. You see, I'm a multi-apper. I use Grubhub as a filler app. And I had Doordash as one of my go-to, deliver that, but Grubhub was my filler app. If an app is just a filler app with you, you do not know truly the ins and outs of that app until you separate everything and say, let me see what this app actually has to offer. What new things that I can learn from this app that I can use or utilize with different apps? You see, Walmart Spark here, deal with groceries. In another market might deal with groceries and food delivery. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, knowing how to utilize your apps. Only you can discover that truth for yourself. All we do is give a simple blueprint that turn the light bulb on. You discover truth for yourself in your market. But I done had drivers done challenge me throughout the last 24 months. Yeah, 24 months. And they like, okay, you can't tell me nothing in my market. I just need the blueprint. First of all, let's start with your goals with this app. What type of money you want to make with this app? Do you even know the best district, your business districts or city districts, to where it is most lucrative for you on this app? Where everybody go over here, okay, everybody going over there. Listen to what you're saying. Everybody going over here. That's not the only area making money. That's not the only area customers are tipping in. You got to find out those secret sauces for yourself. So go ahead, if you have any last words or want to address the comments before we hit out here, go ahead, because you know me, I get to going and going and going. Go
It's
ahead, my brother.
fine. You want to keep going, bro? You got it. You got it.
Okay,
Make sure
back.
you know. Go ahead, bro.
Well, back to content creating, because see, there's a whole lot to learn. People talking about why is you using Q1 the It's called doing things decency and in order. This is how I run my business. That way you're giving other people respect. You want to give people time, other people time to also have that moment to where they want to interact with you, want to ask a question with you. We're not trying to disrupt your class, but we coming in here, we want to interact. We like the space here. We want to interact. When I first started doing live stream ride alongs, it was like business conference. It's like a conference call. We was doing it like a conference call. Drivers were hearing each other. We wasn't on the panel, but drivers would be talking to each other, interact with each other. Look at some of my older versions of my live streams and stuff, and where I know I made $100 in 2 hours, and I took a lunch break, and I may play it on one of those up and coming videos, just a portion of it. I was X Line's Pizza eating at one of the best pizza places in the city of Memphis. They still do it like they did it 30 years ago. And how they was joking with me like, man, we know who making the money. Cause he's right now eating. So when you treat us out, we're gonna be able to eat and sit down like you. Being able to have a good atmosphere because we go through stress and anxiety as it is in this business.
I got
Go
something to
ahead,
say
brother.
on that.
Go ahead,
You were
brother.
saying about how your ride alongs and stuff you was doing like that.
Go
See, the
ahead, brother.
good thing about these panels, like we can have lunch together virtual. Like we could go out to lunch and actually sit down in a restaurant, the same restaurant or so.
Great
Like
idea.
say and it's collaborate like that and have lunch.
Great idea.
Or something like that. You could do that. We got the technology to do that, and that's and
Great.
like say like say I was thinking like a viewer, do do something like a giveaway and invite a viewer out to lunch. Find out Cash App. Go to a restaurant that the viewer has, but also it's just a thought. I'm not saying we had to do it. This is
No,
a thought I'm throwing
no,
out
that's
there.
that's that's
But
that's a great
yeah,
idea.
let me finish. So a lucky viewer gets out to lunch virtually. We go to the same restaurant that viewer takes if we have it in our market. We'll try to collaborate, see that what market that has the same restaurant we go to, get a certain time and go there.
Right.
You already have the viewers cash app information or something like that. The viewers, orders food, you order food, you have a good thing there, and then you pay for the viewers thing. How much they say? Oh, this is how much it is, and you show. Okay, that's how much the ticket is. You just blot out the information, or just tell if you believe the viewer to say how much, and just put that money into the viewer's account. You know, something like that would make people that show that we appreciate the audience for checking us out and stuff like that. There's something to give back to the audience. You know,
That's a
it's
great
another
idea.
way because we live so far. It's kind of not saying it's hard, but we might not be able to go visit. But we could visit on a live stream with a panel. And then go like that, and then every day we're talking, and we gotta make sure there's no music because we don't want that to be something to strike or whatever that other stuff is. But if we can find a restaurant that don't have the music and we could do all that, probably something good to do. It's just a thought, something different. I don't know if anybody ever did that or so, but it was just something I just thought of because of what you said. That's all.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. Yep, it's a great idea. Those are things we will be utilizing and implementing. Hope that people can get a chance to catch this on the replay. It's almost my time to get ready to start my shift, and I hate to go because I love to do these type of live stream shows. And I enjoy collaborating with Hulk Smash. He's going to be a good content creator, great content creator. He have content creator ideas, and he will learn more about the concept of ideas and how you turn it into content. He won't be just only learning it from me. He will be learning it from other content creators that him and I both would learn together. I thank Red for also coming in, and he said he had two other content creators he will also, touch bases with as well. See, like I said, the best advice that I can give from my experience is that I wish that I had knew before I became a content creator was to do research and was able to get up under somebody that could have been a mentor for me, especially in the niche that I'm in. It's so much that you have to learn in creating content ideas, the style that you want to bring, and what are your goals and your mission for your channel. And then find the right people. You got to find the right people. So you learn these things in a time frame in a year. A lot of people said just do content, go out there, do your first 100 bad videos or first 500 bad videos. I don't consider that as best advice. You know, You're not gonna have your perfect videos when you start off. You're gonna make mistakes. I still make mistakes every day, but to be able to do research, find the right information from the right content creator, to where you getting that information about how you want to do your channel. It don't have to necessarily be somebody in this niche. They could be in another niche, but they bring those ideas for you to do what you do and improve thumbnails, title, topic. I'm not going to get in here and start sounding like I'm some expert. Mm-mm. I'm barely still scratching the surface myself, but I'm learning things that may be more than I did a year or 2 years ago. And we going in the direction on how to interact with people now, collaborating with people, who to collaborate with, who not to collaborate with, building a community of community leaders, moderators, and all that. It's a whole lot to try to learn all at once, but you can learn it and you can progress to get there. So I appreciate him for so much, doing this show, and he done a marvelous job in how he interacts, how he answers questions, he articulate his thoughts, his perception, his ideals. He then gave a lot of content creator ideas for that channel. He then gave me a lot of good ideas. You see what I'm saying? And I thank him so much for that. And I'm glad, to be able to work with him and he worked with me. I appreciate him more and more each and every day. And I want to give him that round of applause.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody, for showing up today. And I hope you guys had a great show. And we appreciate your time for coming in today. Thank you again.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And what we're gonna do, make sure I pick the right one, not the wrong one. And we thank you so much, and we get ready to end it with this here. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great week. Have a great weekend. We will see you in the next video. Peace, take care, and have a good one.